Don't go away, please. 2 minutes, wait. Where's my face? I want my face to be seen. See, nothing is coming.
Hi, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and welcome to this book discussion, which is called about a book called The Obstacle is the Way. It is by an author called Ryan Holiday. And as those of you who don't know me before, who are new to me, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Prithika Chary. I'm a neurologist and neurosurgeon and a brain health and resilience coach. We have an initiative called Creative Karma. And through that, we enable you to be your best, become what you're meant to be. And also we believe that adversity can be turned to advantage. So with this short introduction, let's get into the main discussion of the day. This book embodies what is called a Stoic wisdom. Now, the Stoic wisdom is to brave everything. They were a very brave kind of people. So Marcus Aurelius is a very famous Stoic philosopher. And he has said that the impediment to action actually advances action. So if you feel something is blocking you, according to Marcus Aurelius, that block itself can be converted into something to enable you to proceed better. So what stands in the way becomes the way. So there are 3 disciplines he discusses in this, and he illustrates this with 3 stories. The first thing in making the obstacle the way is our perception, is how we see the obstacle. Do we see it as an obstacle or do we see it as an opportunity? The second step is the action that we take. What do we do about it? Okay, the obstacle is there. It's not going to go away. So what do we do about it? The third discipline is will, where you grow your inner strength and how we endure through it and grow from it. So he illustrates this with the stories of Rockefeller, Amelia and Earhart, who flew across the Atlantic solo, and Theodore Roosevelt. So let us just take a look at those stories. So perception is how you interpret whatever is happening around you. Action is the actions that you take to confront the problem. The will is the inner will that you cultivate to confront obstacles, not just now, but you learn from this and you're able to confront the obstacle over and over again. So let us explore what is perception. In perception, the book advises that you first see clearly. Very often we are carried away by our imagination. In our imagination, we tend to blow up things into a mountain. We make a molehill into a mountain because our first reaction to difficulty is always fear, frustration, panic. So what this author says, Holiday says, is you step back, take an objective view of it as a third party, and then you're removing all your personal emotions from it, the bias, the fear, etc. And if you look deep enough, you find an opportunity to bring about change. I call it taking in the good, because I often say that bad things happen for a good reason. So you need to explore what could be the good reason. Now, I want all of you to please have some paper, pencil, because I'm going to give you some questions. If you really want to get value out of this, you need to write down those questions and you need to later on sit with them and work with them, because then you don't have to read this book in order to get the good things out of this book. So write down this first question. When have you misread a situation because you were afraid or you were angry. And later on, you found actually that situation turned out for the good. So let me give you an example. I was routinely tested and discovered to have a cancer rectum grade 3 in 2016 December. Naturally, it was a shock because I really thought I just had some minor gastric problem, and it was a shock. There was no anger, there was fear, no fear, but there was a anxiety. Because I'm a single woman, I live alone, there was an anxiety. What am I going to do with this? How am I going to deal with this kind of thing? And at that time, I was fearful that I won't have people to help me, take me to the hospital, all those kind of things. And what is the good that came out of that whole thing? I was very, very stressed. I was, running against the clock, and that is what created the whole problem in the first place. Whole of 2016 was a hectic year for me. Lot of bad things happened in my life. And I'm convinced I created the cancer. So what did this force me to do? It was a bad thing. It was a bad way maybe, but it forced me to take 2 years off. I could do a few online consultations. I could do an occasional consultation because somebody nearby offered a room, but it was a time for reflection. Is this what I want from my life? I was already 69. So I want you all to take this sentence and analyze it later when you're journaling. How many of you in this room journal regularly? I do. So just raise your hand if you do. Right. The second discipline is action. So there's no point in understanding a challenge as a challenge, figuring out, okay, I have to work with this, I have to do something about this. You have to get to work and actually take purposeful action. So what purposeful action did I take? I took the purposeful action of reaching out to my friends. Because I didn't have much family to help me, I had but a wide network of friends. So I reached out to them, and it was a directed action. Which friend can do what? Who can help me with what kind of thing? So they were practical steps towards my goal in spite of the obstacle in order to deal with the obstacle. So actually, there the obstacle was the way. So I made small, consistent progress. I didn't worry about perfection. If somebody didn't turn up, I had a backup. So what is one action step you could take today towards any challenge that you have been avoiding? See, we like to pretend nothing bad is happening. We like to pretend that, okay, I'll deal with this later. We like to tell ourselves, I'll wait till so-and-so comes and helps me. But what is this one small action step you can take today towards a challenge you have been avoiding? The third discipline he discusses is about growing inner strength. So he says, we all know that some things cannot change. When you lose a loved one, nothing is going to bring them back. When somebody rejects you, throws you out of a job, gives you, a lot of trouble, or you're living with somebody who's very difficult to live with. No, you can't really change all these. But you also need to develop a deep resilience to endure what must be borne. You must be strong enough to bear whatever is the challenge. So what did I do after my chemotherapy and radiation? I had a 3 to 4 month period when I had to wait for my surgery, which was a very prolonged surgery, 9 hours surgery. So what did I do in that gap? I made myself more fit for surgery. I lost 20 kilos. I did yoga. I did muscle strengthening. I strengthened the pelvic muscles because I knew that's where the surgery is going to be done. So I made myself stronger to endure the difficulty of a difficult surgery and its consequences. So it is about embracing your reality without denial, without bitterness. Just get into it. So the next question comes up. Do you see challenges as punishment or an opportunity to grow? He illustrated, I told you, each of these concepts with a story. The first one of perception, he tells about Rockefeller, who in 1857, there was a massive financial panic in the United States. Money became very, very scarce, and he was very young. Instead of getting excited and this thing, he stayed calm. He went and bought a lot of things which were at low cost because of the financial crisis. And he invested strategically when the prices were low. And this, all of us know. We say, no, if somebody is very wealthy, you're like a Rockefeller. The massive wealth he amassed and gave it to generations and lots of foundation and all that. So the downturn actually became a turning point in building his wealth. So through this story, Holiday is telling us that events are neutral. It's not the event which is the obstacle. It is your view of the event. You can decide whether you want to panic or you want to make it into a purpose. So panic is optional. So if you step back and have clarity, you can convert it into an advantage. Emotion clouds judgment. So when we get panicky, fearful, excited, and all that, it will cloud our judgment, because when emotions are high, intelligence becomes less. Because there is a system in the brain called the amygdala, which will make you very emotional, the prefrontal cortex, which calms you down. So when the amygdala is hyper reactive, the prefrontal cortex shuts down. So emotion will cloud your judgment. So wait till you're calm before you come to. I took 3-4 days, laid out a plan of action, and then only did what I did. Understand opportunity often hides inside the crisis. And Rockefeller did not control the market crash. He controlled how he interpreted it, and that interpretation changed everything for him. So there's Stoic philosophy. I told you this whole book is about Stoic philosophy, especially from Marcus Aurelius. He says, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harm. It seems so simple, isn't it? Because your perception creates reality. So I want you to take down the next 3 questions, which are going to be very, very insightful for you. When have you misinterpreted a setback as a permanent failure? See, getting cancer is a bad thing. I was told that in 6 months, I had a 30 to 50% chance of maybe not being alive even. But I never looked at it as a permanent failure. Let's see what we can do with it. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever, we carry on. What would a Rockefeller-like calmness look like in your current challenge? See, everybody has problems. Everybody has challenges, obstacles. You may be undergoing something right now. So if you had choose to be calm, there's another coach called Lenka who says, when you're having a challenge, you should be the eye of the storm. Because as you know, in a tornado and all that, the center is very calm. All the agitation is happening on the outer side of the tornado. So you have to be the eye of the storm. You be calm in the middle of the chaos. The next question is, what story are you telling yourself about your obstacle right now? Are you blowing it out of proportion? Are you accepting it at the level it is? Or are you finding a way to work around it? How are you dealing with, what story are you telling? I can do it, I can't do it. That is the story that we tell ourselves. The second concept of action, he demonstrates it with what is called the Amelia Earhart story, where action over fear. Aviation was very dangerous in the early 20th century. It was very experimental. It was male-dominated. Planes were not very safe. Crashes were very common. And this lady was born into aviation royalty. So she was not even trained as a pilot or anything, but she was taken as a passenger, first invited passenger to cross the Atlantic in 1928 as a passenger. And everybody called her Lady Lindy because she was brave enough to get into the plane and go. Then when she did that and people publicized that whole thing, they said, no, she didn't really fly the plane, so what is so special? And because she was a woman, no, they didn't think it was a big thing. If it had been a man, it would have been a big thing. So this could have actually discouraged her and made her, okay. Instead, what did she do? She trained, she built competence, she pushed forward, and in 1932, she became the first woman to fly solo non-stop across the Atlantic. So she built up her skills. So that's what we need to do. Action means you have to build up your skills to cope with whatever difficulty there is. Like I did, I built up my body strength in order to handle the surgery. She did not wait for ideal conditions. She did not wait for validation. She just acted. So what does this teach you about action? Don't wait for perfect clarity. It will never come. Everything has to be perfect before I make a decision. No. Don't wait for anybody's permission. Don't complain that you are being marginalized. Life is unfair. Whatever is happening to you has happened to somebody before. So it is likely to happen to someone else. So you are not a judge that you're being separated out to be for life to be unfair to you. So just drop all that resistance and just get to work. And you build your skill through doing. Because when you start doing, your fear goes away. So here are your next prompts for reflection. Where are you waiting for perfect conditions? Maybe you got a project in your mind. You're very keen on that. But you're not starting it because you want everything to be perfect. When I started my epilepsy center in 1994, this happened to me. I was waiting to open it because I was waiting for everything to fall in place. Then I had a friend who dropped in and who saw the thing, 3/4 of the things were in place. It was a work in progress. And he said, don't wait for everything to be perfect because it's the imperfections that give it the beauty. And so very rapidly, I opened the center, got into it. Yes, we had a lot of teething problems, but everybody started knowing that the center was open. So are you seeking recognition before mastery? So what small uncomfortable action can you take this week? But remember, don't overanalyze. Because if you overanalyze and overthink, you will get fearful. When you take action and start getting into it, the momentum will keep you fearless. The third element is about the will. So in 1884, Theodore Roosevelt, his mother and his wife died on the same day. And just, very close to each other, 2 days, and gave birth to their daughter, and his wife died. In his diary, he is supposed to have written a large X and said, "The light has gone out of my life." This is very devastating. He was broken, he was grief-stricken. This happens when we lose a loved one, and especially under such terrible circumstances. Lots of people went through this during COVID. I lost 5, 6 of my colleagues. He could not solve the problem. I cannot go and solve COVID. I could not act my way out of it. There was nothing I could fix. So what do you think Roosevelt did? He worked on becoming stronger. So he went away somewhere, worked on a ranch, became stronger and stronger, and he became a very tough person. In creative karma, we have a concept called stress fitness, which is very similar. So where we say you keep on experiencing little micro stressors, you build up your stress muscle. And when a big stress comes, you learn how to handle it, which is the reason why I could handle my cancer diagnosis pretty well. So the period of hardship actually was responsible for the strength that his presidency later was known. He was one of the very popular American presidents. And during his regime, there was resilience, toughness, and very grounded leadership. So what does this teach us about will? Some obstacles are not meant to be conquered. They're only meant to be endured. You just have to go through it. If somebody dies, they die. You have to endure it. You cannot always control events. You cannot always control your character also. You're entitled to be grief-stricken. But from that, can you become stronger? Suffering can deepen strength. And having a strong will is quiet power. It is not dramatic. It's not reactive. It's a very steady, quiet power. So the questions that come out of this segment: what obstacle in your life required endurance rather than action? Supposing right now you're facing a situation or an event beyond your control, how do you respond? How do you respond to loss or events beyond your control? We never stop and ask ourselves these questions. That's why I'm giving them to you. So whenever I read a book, I make a note and I write my own this thing and all that. So I'm giving you a shortcut. In this book club, which we are launching today, every Saturday you will have this shortcut to a new book. And once a month, you will have a 1-hour discussion of a particular book. So even if you don't have to buy books or read them, we help you to glean the information out of it. And I give you these trigger questions so that you can think about it and apply it, translate it into your life. I'm not very sure if anybody else is doing such a thing. Okay? So what obstacle in your life required endurance rather than action? How do you respond to loss or events beyond your control? What practices? Each one of us has our own style of coping, inner strength. So what practices help you to build your inner strength? Last but not least is there a current challenge that is asking you to be patient rather than force everything around it? So what are the key takeaways from all that we have listed so far? The book repeatedly reframes obstacles as hidden benefits, not impediments. So like I said earlier in a podcast with somebody, they asked me, where did you find the resilience to face this cancer, etc., being alone, this, that. I said, no, listen, I was up against a wall. I had no choice. So I had to break through the wall and go or keep standing in front of the wall. So that's what this image will tell you. So when has a setback later opened a new opportunity for your life? If we really sit and reflect and contemplate, you'll find that there are things. So why I'm telling you to go through these questions is because when you're really facing a big challenge, all of us feel, who am I going to ask? Who's going to guide me? How will I get through this? These will help you to get through it. Control what you can, release what you can't. Now, in this image, you will find there are some things which are in my control, some things which are out of my control. So let us only list the ones in our control. The boundaries I set, my thoughts and actions, the goals I set, what I give my energy to, how I speak to myself, and how I handle challenges. That is all I can control. We've already talked a little about this, emotion versus reason. So when you're trying to take a decision about a challenge, calm yourself first. Don't react, because a reasonable mind will look at past experience, will look at research, will look at logic, statistics, etc. An emotional mind will get lost in anxiety, fear, anger, feelings, sadness, stress. So if you want to get a wise mind, I feel this and I know this. Don't deny your emotions. So I will do this. Based on this, I feel all this, but I will handle it this way and become a wise mind. Because very often our heart and our brain are tugging at each other. Your gut will tell you one thing, your logical brain will tell you something else. So you have to stand strong in this tug of war and create a balance. So now these are the total deep dive questions of the entire book. How does your current mindset shape how you face challenges? What example from your life reflects the title, The Obstacle is the Way? Holiday used 3 historical stories. Do you have a story? I had a story which I shared. Which one impacted you most and why? Did somebody inspire me to get that story? Are there times when an obstacle is not the way? What are the complexities that arise when the obstacle is not the way? And how do you get stress fit or the personal will when life feels overwhelming? Okay. Now we will just stop the share for a little while before we go to. I want you all now to open up your videos and be participative. And up to now, we need to know, few of you can share your views. I'll go to gallery view so we can all see each other. Yeah. Yes. Anyone can go, unmute and talk. So on what we have covered up to now, before we just go, actually it's already 10 o'clock, but I've got a small segment of counter how this is not as easy as it sounds. Quick.
I can. Hi, this is Srini here, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I think I really like the 3 things that the takeaway. What I can relate is the misreading the situation. The Rockefeller's example of when the stock market is falling, I can relate it very clearly to everything that is happening in the AI world now, because I'm from technology world. And even the media is creating a very a fear-based system because those are clickbaits for them to drive the business. But I'm trying to tell myself, what can I do to get myself acquainted with the tools instead of creating that fear? If I can work with some tools, get some mastery over it, and then it's going to be same as we mastered email, as we mastered technology, as we are talking now in Zoom. And I'm trying to tell myself and not to go by the clickbait media headlines, which are driving the stock market, and that's a different purpose. So I'm trying to do that, and that is what I can relate to, the AI.
Good. Yeah, right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, Prithika.
Yeah, hi, Geeta. Thanks for coming. She's from the US. Go ahead.
And I'm just slowly recovering from my right knee replacement. It's exactly 1 month and 20 days since I finished the surgery. And I'm finding it still very hard to recover. My Peterson surgeon told me I have to be patient. This is all also due to old age, related old age, what you call limitations. And he also told me that I have to be patient. It will take quite some time, another 4 months. It's only 1 month and 20 days since the surgery is over. And I love to do some work. Like, I want to become independent. I am almost independent. I do my own showering and all that. But still, I
This
sleep
is a
most of the time,
typical-
maybe.
This is a typical situation where you have to build your endurance. You just have to endure it. Because
Yes.
it's not going to shrink, that 4 months won't become 1 month just because you desire it. You may want your
Mm.
independence. Do whatever you can to be as independent as you can with what you have right now. And don't drop the expectation. Why is it still not better? 1 month, 20 days. See, that's how
Mm.
you're talking.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
it. Don't question it. Just endure it. And he's told you 4 months. Just carry on. For me, I had an ileostomy after the
I know.
surgery. It was
Yeah.
pure hell. Okay. 4
Mm.
months. I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had to live through it. So I did my best with it. That's it. That was
I just
something I
sudden
could not go and change. There are
I
some
just
things you can't control. You just have to
I
endure it. But
I
when
know.
you're enduring it, try to find other things which will make the endurance little more comfortable. You can ask for
I
help
feel
from
just
other people, spend time with
yes.
talking to people instead of sitting and moping and groaning and moaning to yourself. So this
Yeah.
is the way you need to open up.
Yeah. This is recovery stage and I'm going through it. And the doctor said it will take exactly 1 year for the leg to completely
Yeah,
heal.
we'll move on, Geeta, to the next person. Vandana has put in the chat box. I resonate with your idea. It's not my idea. It's the idea of the Ryan holiday. But I also do it. I can relate that whatever happens to the best, that we need a clear perspective to see through. Okay, fine. Right. Okay, now let's go, because I'm going to give you a counter argument now. Let's see how you're going to handle that. Sorry. Yeah. So now the book is assuming certain things. Okay. I think the share didn't come. Can you see the slide?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Now mute yourselves so that there's no disturbance. So now the book is assuming certain things about all of us. That we are all such well-adjusted human beings. That it is assuming that you can think rationally when you're very stressed. How many of us, I find it very difficult to do rational thinking when I'm very stressed. It assumes that we have emotional regulation skills. It assumes that we have a safety margin in which we can take a risk. It assumes that we are not in survival mode, we are only in victim mode. But when you go and meet somebody who is going through bloody hell, like right now she said, and say, change your perception, they can feel as if you are invalidating their emotions. So, just change your perception sounds very simple. It is saying that the obstacle is neutral, our interpretation is creating the suffering, and it's very cool in theory. But supposing I'm undergoing a crushing debt, I'm grieving a child, I'm facing discrimination, I'm dealing with chronic illness. Do you think I'll feel, oh, all this is okay, this book is saying all this, but it's not something that is possible? Because changing perception is not a switch. It is hard emotional labor. It can take many years. It is based on our childhood programming. It's based on our past experiences. Sometimes you even need therapy to change your mindset and that perception. And we often need community support also. We need people with us. So what the book is doing, in my opinion, as a neurologist, is it can underestimate the psychological and biological weight of trauma. So what are the things? It's the counterpoints. It's overemphasizing individual control. Not all of us are so brave. when I did what I did, some of my friends said, oh, it's possible for you, but I don't think I can do it. So control what you can, accept what you can't. It sounds very powerful. But what happens, it is in a way blaming the individual that they are creating their own situation. It is not a structural thing. And if you don't succeed, try again. All these maxims are there. Is it that you're not taking enough action? Is it that you don't have enough will? What happens after a while? It can become, you can start blaming yourself for not being strong enough to carry on. Another thing it does is it romanticizes suffering. Now, all those heroes stories that he shared, they were survivors, winners, but we don't hear about all the ordinary people, thousands, who have acted boldly and still failed. Not everybody, about poverty, how people who have undergone natural disasters, they've acted boldly but still failed. So those resilient people, they just endured. They didn't get any recognition. And instead of getting tough, they succumbed to trauma. Some people went and committed suicide. Some people just gave up. So there is a survivorship bias. Not everybody can move from victim to survivor. The other thing it does is, when you say you have to be strong, you have to be brave, you have to have courage, blah, blah, you are suppressing your emotions. Even when you're hurting, you pretend you don't hurt. So when you endure, be steady, be strong, where does your grief go? It goes into you. What happens to your anger? It goes into you. What happens to your exhaustion? Because in neuroscience, we know that unprocessed emotion doesn't disappear. It just goes underground into you and creates more stress. So stoicism, everything has to be taken in a very balanced view. Everything in the book is not possible for everybody. So it's very much harder in real time than when you think back about it. See, once you have succeeded, you find it's much harder. You can say, okay, the obstacle became the way I learned from it, blah, blah, blah. But it's much harder when actually you're suffering the obstacle, like she is. There is no visible upside. The outcome is uncertain. Then it becomes really difficult. The framework will shine in hindsight. But what do I implement in the moment? That implementation is brutal. She's going through pain. She's going through discomfort. So we have to understand that while the book is very encouraging and very helpful, that there is a counter to it. Now, my core teaching methodologies, we do all of this, but in a very modified way. We have a concept of lotus consciousness where we teach you to see your adversity clearly, embrace it, and awaken to your true nature. Then we have a concept called inner wealth surgery, where we cut away all your limiting beliefs, enabling you to embrace and transform and grow from that. Then we train you in stress fitness, where you have these micro stressors which make you stronger and stronger. So it actually develops will. So if you want to translate what we just saw, lotus consciousness is your perception, inner wealth surgery is the action, and stress fitness is your will. So all of us face obstacles. They can be physical, mental, knowledge, whatever. And there are a lot of options we have. But perception is how you look at your problems. Action is how to tackle the problem in actionable parts. You don't have to deal with it all in one go. Will is how to cultivate and maintain your inner being, no matter what, to conquer the problem or the difficulty. So your perception is how you interpret. So there are some tips to improve your perception. Be objective. Acknowledge that you have the strength to deal with it. Control your nerves. Don't panic. Modify your perspective. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the now, not what I can do 10 days later. You have to be very creative in your thinking. Think outside the box. And last but not least, look for opportunity in the problem. So, how to take action? To take action, you stay in motion, persist till you find a solution. There is something called failing forwards. You fail, you learn from it, try it, improve and try it, fail again, improve and try it, keep going. That's called failing forward. Take one step at a time. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with everything. Whatever you do, do it well. Go for the right approach. Right approach means I tried 10 things, this works, so I'll stay with what works. I won't be wasting my time trying to manage the things that don't work. Let the obstacles eliminate themselves. And don't put your frustration to work, and don't make adversity an advantage. Now, what are the ways in which you can? What are the ways in which you can use will to grow? Use your good times to prepare for bad times. Sometimes we know when we take up a project, there are some potential obstacles which can be expected. So plan for possible failures. Accept your problems. Love everything, including your obstacles. Don't say, oh, this is a nuisance. I don't like this knee. It's paining me. Then you only make yourself miserable and you'll pain more. Persevere till the end. Focus on helping others. During that time, see if you can give of something to others. Maybe because you're not able to walk about too much, sit down and tell stories to your grandchildren. And understand that every impermanence is a reality. All of us are going to die someday. Embrace the cycle of life. Live now. Don't worry about what will happen when you die. Just live for the moment, right now. So wherever we are, whatever we are doing, do it well. This is a reflection from there. Because excellence is not situational. It is a natural choice you make independent of circumstances. So your prompt for that is, are you waiting for better conditions to show your best self? We all this time we discuss that our perceptions determine what we are and are not capable of, both. Like Henry Ford said, whether you say you can or whether you say you can't, you're right. So limitation begins in your interpretation, not in the reality. So what belief about yourself might be shrinking your potential? Okay? Going backwards. Right. Yeah. Now, failure actually shows us the way, because it sometimes tells us that we are going in the wrong direction. So it is feedback. It is not your identity. Redirection is a refining process, not a defining process. So what recent failure might actually be a course correction in your life. So note down that and sit and analyze it later. Understand that mistakes help us to grow and setbacks can lead to better opportunities. Now this is where our creative karma steps in. This whole philosophy of Ryan Holiday is not wrong. It is just not complete. Because when you look at the nervous system, when everything around you changes too fast for your nervous system to get regulated and adjust and adapt, like Srini shared about how the AI thing is being hyped and lots of confusion is happening. All of this will be possible for you if you already have baseline stability. Fortunately, I had baseline stability and I could cope because of my many years of living alone and having to manage a lot of things. You have processed major trauma. I have processed various traumas in the past. I have support. I knew I had this huge friends network. And I have enough safety to think clearly. Nobody was going to interfere or influence with my thinking. So when you look at this book from a broader perspective, It's not possible for all of us to be the way he said. So it amplifies your resilience. It is not a cure for the trauma. Please understand that. And all our creative karma programs, we have an ascension which we can take you through. We have free experiences at the base, if this is where you are. We have Insta Lives, we have free webinars, we have 499 2-day mini boot camps. That is to get to know who I am, just to understand who I am and things like that. You may be new to this whole thing. Then we have an engagement layer, a future ready layer, 100-day inner wealth surgery and private mentorship. So a one free webinar every month we do, 2 Insta Lives every month we do. There's no cost for it. You can join in. It'll be put up in the social media. You can join in. It'll be on our website, etc. We do a daily morning huddle from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. If you sign up for a monthly subscription, it is 3,000. You can sign up for a 2-month for 5500, I think. And if it's a 3-month thing, it's 8,000. So you get a 500 rupee discount in the 2-month, a 1,000 rupee discount in the 3-month package. Then we've got this Creative Karma Book Club. This is weekly 30 minutes, but today we have exceeded time. It'll be monthly, it'll be 1 hour. I don't mind. If you don't mind, I don't mind. And what do you think is going to be the impact after 52 weeks of doing this? So reading habit is probably the best love letter you can write to yourself. So the whole process is on Saturdays, 9:30 to 10:30. One of those sessions will be a deep dive in the book of the month. And if you are already in the this thing huddle, you just get a VIP upgrade of $9.99 to join the book club. You don't have to pay the full 3,000 again. Then we have the 2-day 90-minute mini boot camps, which we do twice a month. Here, it's like an introduction to the Lotus Consciousness, stages of awareness, and we use my book, Lotus Consciousness, etc., to create and point out to you where you are now and where you can become. Then we have the month-long Future Ready program. We just finished one in January. In this, there is a masterclass for 90 minutes, followed by a 3-hour workshop called the Toolkit, 2 full-day weekend bootcamp inner shift, 1-hour integration session, 1 to 3-hour integration session. You get as a bonus, you get the huddle for 1 month. You get 1 free one-to-one call with me. The recording and replay access is there for 1 month. And you get tools which you keep for life. We also have the 100 days to Lotus Wealth Mastery. Duration of the program is 100 days. Every week there are 2 live sessions. There's WhatsApp and email support, weekly tools and worksheets, permanent access to the session recordings, free entry to the huddle for 100 days, the 3,000 rupee huddle I told you about. And you will get 2 one-to-one sessions with me in 45 days and in 90 days to handhold you through the transformation. These are gentle micro steps which you take daily. There's a lot of self-learning, self-application. We give you a lot of tools. In the Lotus Inner Wealth Mastery, you will master 16 skills. And these are the 16 skills, unified skills that you will come out with at the end of 100 days. I'm not going to read them out, but you can read it for yourself. And you see that it is very holistic. So these are the 16 skills that you will acquire in 100 days. So your whole life will change. So our 100-day program is starting on 18th February. The end date will be 29th May. Whereas the Future Ready, the Quantum Leadership Future Ready program, I didn't show that slide. Yeah. Future Ready Quantum Leader program is starting on the 1st of March. So all of you must be wondering, okay, there is this ascension that is possible. How much is all this going to cost? So let me tell you that we take you through an ascension of free program, 499, then 4999, then we go to the Quantum Ready Future Leader is about how to navigate the next 5 years with all the change that's going on. that is 25,000. The 100-day program is 50,000. And in between, you got the boot camps and all that. I told you they're 4,999, and the master class is 499. So this is the how we can help you to make the obstacle is the way, a practical, doable, skill building thing in yourself through creative karma, because we employ those philosophies, but we do it in a very much more holistic and much gentler way. Selva Kumar, you have attended the Future Ready. Sanjeev, you have attended the huddle. Can you just share what we do there? We can't hear you.
Prithika,
Wait, Geeta, please wait.
it's 10 o'clock in the night for me, ma.
Oh, okay. If you want to take off, you can. If you want to
It's
rest.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday
okay.
night, 10 o'clock. Yeah. Bye, ma.
Thanks for attending. Bye.
Bye.
Selva Kumar, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Go on,
Patient.
tell
Yes,
us. You attended the Future Ready program.
Yes, ma'am.
So what were your...
That systematically the skills what we need to acquire in 2030, probably the what is going to be the future, how to handle the future is going to be more chaotic. So definitely we need to upgrade our skills like emotional skill and as well as the AI part, and the how to be resilient in future handling the situations. And every day we learned so much, and definitely it is the day to day the what we are going to face and how to handle the situation. So that is what I
Venkat and Nishant, please put the book club, the huddle, the Future Ready, and the 100-day program links in the chat box. Anybody who's interested, because we're starting the 100-day on 18th.
Okay.
So my suggestion is you take action quickly, because we'll finish by May 29th. Because after that, June, I'm traveling. I have to go for my Rotary International Conference. So we'll finish it before we go. Right. Yes, Sanjeev.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah, I was part of Huddle. Rather, I'm part of the Huddle, and it is from 7:30 to 8 a.m. in the morning. So it is a very useful program. It gives a kickstart to our day, and it is a very useful program. And I can feel the change which is taking place, and I'm feeling more positive, and mindset shift takes place. So it is very useful program, and I encourage everyone to join. And I have taken a short break for 15-20 days from Huddle, so I will be joining from this Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to say anything with Dr. Vijay Priya? Dr. Vijay Priya, ma'am. Vandana, you don't have to open your video, but you can talk if you want. See, and I'm a voracious reader. So I want to inculcate the reading habit. People nowadays don't read. So I want to inculcate the reading habit again back in at least the people who come in touch with me. Okay, since no one else is opening up, we can wind down this thing. Raji, do you want to say anything? You've been an invited guest in many programs. So
this is a very nice concept, Doc. Like how you said, I mean, nowadays, I don't think people have that kind of a patience to sit and read. And you're making the job easy by giving the main points. So I think it's good. And we get to know a lot of books, which otherwise I don't think we would read.
Correct. Because these are carefully curated books also. I do a lot of research and identify books which are doable. My main thing is always do, because I know how busy people are. I know everyone complains about lack of time. So all our programs are very, very carefully curated, keeping that concept in mind. So what is your last word, Srini? What do you do?
I'm into technology, so
You're an IT professional.
IT professional. Yes,
Okay. Where are you based?
Pune, Maharashtra. But
So what were your concluding remarks of this morning?
yeah, I really like the book club concept. Like ma'am said, especially the counter argument also makes us think, not just from the author's perspective, but the counter argument was really good. So very, very pleasant.
Because sometimes it's not possible for everybody to be brave, be, strong. They will break down. See, as a doctor, I know that. See, when I tell you you have a brain tumor, it's very hard for you to be brave. There will be that grief cycle you'll go through. Then we help you to cope as best you can. So it's, I was wanted particularly to make sure that I worked on the counter argument, so that you don't go away from this session thinking, oh, I have to be all that, otherwise I'm not perfect.
Yes.
Nobody can be all that. We can be levels of it. But we know the information that there's a pathway, there's a possibility, there is a method. It opens up your options. That's all. Good. And it would be nice if you people join the huddle, join the book club, do whatever works for you. All the links are there. Nishant, share your phone numbers also so that they can follow up if they want.
Okay, ma'am.
Because I am planning to be around as a coach for the next, I'm already going to be 79 in June. So I can envisage my life as a radiant sage and coach, maybe for another 5 to 6 years max, if God is kind. So if you want to tap into my wisdom, grab the opportunity now. The sooner, the better. Because like I told you, impermanence is a reality. None of us know when we are going to be called up. So that puts a different kind of sense of urgency in my programs, which is not there in the programs of many other coaches. Because I'm very, very aware of my mortality. So if that is a selling point, let it be. Okay. And the 100-day participants didn't join today, but 3 of them have finished the first batch of 100-day. About 6 of them have finished the first batch of Future Ready. And these programs are going to be repeated. Once in 2 months, we're going to be repeating. So the immediate urgency, huddle you can join so that you can join the March batch. Book club also you can join, because today is the launch date. So you can join today. And for the Future Ready program is 1st March. So those are the cutoff dates. And I've sort of shared the prices with you, but if you call Nishan, he will take you through it, whatever the steps of the program, etc., etc. So thank you all. Happy Valentine's Day once again. This is my way of showing my love and blessings. Okay? So have a great day.
Thank
Be
you. Thank
nice
you.
to your loved ones. Bless everybody.
Thank
Let
you.
Thank you,
everybody
ma'am.
have a lovely life. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.